Well, good morning, friends. All right, happy Tuesday. It is Business Tip Tuesday, and it is Tuesday, June the 12th. I can't believe summer is officially here, and it's hard to believe, but my kids are out of school, and we have started our own summer sort of wild and craziness, and it's been fun. And so, with summer comes changes, and I got a chance to talk to you a little bit last week. If you missed last week's episode, go listen over on the podcast, Women Inspiring Women. Check out last week's podcast episode. I really talked about how to build your business during those summer hours. And so I know that many of you are going through this summer sort of adjustment period right now, whether you've got small children or you've got older kids. And I know that I'm really having to lean into that and make some adjustments myself. So our time today, we are actually going to spend, good morning, I see some of you guys commenting, hi Pam and Courtney. We're going to start talking about just the basics of building a business. So I have had, a lot of people come into my organization and stay and be extremely successful. And also I've equally had just as many people come in and be successful for a short period of time and then leave, or I've had people come in and go out as fast as they came in and never really got started. And so today's discussion is I just want to be very candid and very honest with you about what it takes to build a successful network marketing business, right? So I hope that this conversation is going to strike a chord, and I'm going to try really hard not to give away some of the things I'm going to talk about on stage next week at our annual summit for our company. So as I was sitting here this morning, just reflecting and refining my speech for our summit, I was really thinking about my first 18 months as a coach and, what was I thinking and what sort of disciplines and practices and habits was I putting into place that actually helped me to build that solid foundation. And so I was thinking about a couple of the books that I started out with. I sing the praises of The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. I sing the praises of The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Both of those books are really incredible, but they gave me this solid foundation of understanding how to build a business. And so, one of the things that I want to say to you is if you are just starting out, if anybody's just starting out, drop me a comment. But the first 90 days that you are in a network marketing business, or any business, I should say, you have to essentially give yourself grace. Because here's the thing, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea, what I was doing, how to build a business online, how to use social media to grow my following, how to sign up customers, how to build a team. All of that was very abstract to me. But what I did have was this vision. I had this very crystal clear vision for who I wanted to help. So the first question that I have for you is, do you have a vision for your business? When you signed up, did you say to yourself, I know that I see a need for this community of individuals? For example, I saw that there was a need for women who just had children that were struggling with maybe getting to a gym or a group exercise class, or struggling with their nutrition and were feeling guilty because they didn't want to put their kids in childcare so they, could work out, or they didn't have the funds to be able to do that. I also saw this educational need that I wanted to share with other women, hey, you don't have to starve yourself. You don't have to count calories. You don't have to do these crazy crash diets to lose weight. You can actually eat a significant amount of food, and that food actually either is going to make you feel better or make you feel worse. And we have to lean into the nutritional value of the foods that we're eating. And so for me, it was okay, education. I want to educate people on X, Y, and Z. I want to inspire people by leading by example. I want to share publicly my journey so that other people will see that it is possible, and I want to call them to action. And so I learned to create my own box, right? This was my market and my niche of people. And then I took it a step further and I said, okay, I know the kinds of people I want to help, but now how am I going to help them, right? What am I going to do to build that trust? Where am I going to build this at? For me, my personal Facebook page is where I built the basic foundation of my business. Now I spend a lot of my time on Instagram, right? So you have to pick your platform. So where are you going to do this at? And what is it going to look like? So for me, it was my personal Facebook page. And I said, I am going to start a blog so that I can write because I like that. Now, when I say that, it doesn't mean that everybody listening to this needs to run out and start a blog. Because if you don't like to write or you don't want to do that, it's not going to be beneficial to you. But for me, it was a part of my vision, giving people a place that they could go and they could read. I could share recipes. I could give tips, right? And then I shared that stuff on my social media. Also creating videos where I'm talking about, how to meal prep and how to plan and what are some great family-friendly recipes. And then also sharing my own story and saying, okay, what do people struggle with? They struggle with summertime. They struggle with, barbecues and backyard picnics and going on vacation. So how can I put content on my social media to get people to understand this is totally doable for you too? Here are some great tools. Here are some things that have helped me. Maybe they will help you. And if you would like more of this kind of information, here's how you can find me. Here's how you can join one of my support and accountability groups. And so for me, this vision started to fall into place. All right, I knew I was going to build my business on Facebook. I knew that I was going to do a blog. I knew that I was going to do videos on nutrition. So I was starting to write all of these things out. And then as people would ask me questions and as I would talk to, friends and family, and they would ask me what I was doing and how I was having success, I would write down the most commonly asked questions and things that people wanted to know. That gave me the content I put out there on social media. The next thing is I had to be patient. Once you figure out how you're going to build this business and where you're going to do this at and what kind of people you're going to affect and help and inspire in this process, there is this element of patience. So you are so excited about this business opportunity. You see the value. That's why you signed up, right? But other people do not have the same excitement level that you do. And that's okay. It doesn't mean they won't ever have that same excitement. It just means they're not there yet. And maybe they're going to follow you and they're going to silently sort of watch and read everything you put out there. And they may never like or comment, but they're following. And all of a sudden, one day they're going to come forward. And so my advice to you is to be patient and persistent. Just because somebody ignores a message or just because somebody says not right now or gives you a price objection does not mean that it is a sign for you to fold up shop and quit. It is going to take you longer than 30 days to build a business. 1 out of every 10 people that you speak to is going to say yes. And so you have to emotionally remove yourself from the outcome. So if somebody tells you no, that's okay. You say, just say to the person, no problem. If you change your mind, let me know. I'm always running accountability groups, right? I'm always here to support you. If you ever have a question about fitness or nutrition or workouts, the door is always open. I'll even follow up with you next month to let you know what options that I'll be offering, and maybe next month will be a better time. You just don't burn that bridge, and you know that person will maybe come back around in the future. But there is this element of man, I see people that are 2 weeks into the business and they're like, people are telling me no and people are ignoring me and, people aren't signing up. And I'm like, yeah, it's 2 weeks into the business. It takes you time to build trust and credibility. How long did you follow the person that you now signed up with? I'm guaranteeing it's been months. For some of you, it's been years before you were ready to take that leap of faith. So consistency over time is so important. Now, the next thing is we can't be worried about failure. We cannot be worried about perfection, but we have to be okay with putting ourselves out there long before we have all of the answers. So everything in my business I've done just on a whim, on this feeling of this is what I need to do. And I'll give you a great example of that. So this morning, I was listening to an old recording from a long, long time ago, right? And so in that recording, I came up with this great idea and I was like, oh, I'm going to do this summer success series with my team, and I'm going to pull all of these videos as content. And for the next 8 weeks, we're going to do a summer success series. Now, I went into my team page and I went live and I talked about this summer success series, and I challenged people to draw a line in the sand for their business. And then I posted that recording for them all to watch. And I was like, we are going to accomplish our goals, in the next 8 weeks. And guess what? I don't even have tomorrow planned out. I don't have next week planned out. I don't even know what week 5, 6, and 7 is going to bring, but it was in the moment. I was like, this is a great idea. I need to capitalize on it while I feel full of emotion and positive energy, and I got to put it out there, and I'll connect the dots later. So I had a vision. I had an idea, and before I overthought it or before I lost the wording, I just did it. So if you feel that way, if you're saying to yourself, this would be a great post, or this would be a great live video, or I should invite that person, I want to challenge you to just start doing things before you ever feel qualified or ready. Because your lack of action, I don't care if you're the most brilliant person in the world, the most creative person in the world, if you aren't taking action, nothing is going to happen. There will be no results. There'll be no income. There will be no success. So we have to take massive action right now. It's going to be the same thing with inviting. Remember your ratio, 1 out of every 10. Create great social media content. Engage with your audience. Ask yourself, is my post giving them advice, or is my post just patting myself on the back and saying, you did a great job with your workout today, or good for you for earning an awesome paycheck this week? What kind of advice or motivation or tips can you give to the people that are following you that's going to make them want to come back for more, because you are inspiring to them and you are adding value into their lives? All right. So action, my friends, is everything. So here's what I want to challenge you. 90 days. Maybe you signed up, 2 years ago, and you really haven't achieved the level of success that you wanted to. Maybe you just signed up this month or last month, but what I want to encourage you to do is say to yourself, for 90 days, like the length of 80-day obsession or P90X, I am going to commit to doing 10 vital business activities. And I want you to list out the 10 activities that you feel like actually are the most important business activities to moving your business forward. Then for the next 10 days, I want to challenge you to do all of those, or not 10 days, the next 90 days, I want to challenge you to do those activities as if your life depended on it. I don't want you to fear failure. I want you to just, when something moved you and the moment strikes you, I want you to put it out there. I want you to invite with relentless, intentionality. I want you to share your heart. I want you to inspire people. And I don't want you to think for one moment that you cannot be successful at this business, because you hands down can. But you have to give it time to come to fruition. You have to give it time to grow. You have to give people on your social media time to build trust with you. And the more you put yourself out there and you show people you have something to offer, I guarantee you those people will come back around. Now, keep track of all the people you're talking to. Make sure you've got their name. Make sure you have their email address, the date you had a conversation, and what you talked about. You can use a Google spreadsheet. You can use Google Streak. You can use a Word document, a paper and planner, pencil planner. I encourage you to use Google Streak because it'll help you manage your content or contacts a whole heck of a lot easier. But what I want you to do is say to yourself, for the next 90 days, I am going to follow up, keep track, put myself out there, inspire other people, and I am going to just not even hold back, and I'm going to see where I am 90 days from now. And I guarantee you, you will not only have developed a little bit of grit and a little bit of grace, but you will begin to understand what building a following and a trust actually feels like. And all the people that you've been talking to are going to, not all, but a lot of them are actually going to circle back around and be a part of your life. All right? So you're not allowed to quit. You have to give it 90 days. And at the end of that 90 days, the only way you're allowed to quit this business is if you say to yourself, I tried everything that I could do with relentless intentionality, and I didn't hold back, and there's not one thing that I could say that I could have done better. Then you're allowed to turn in your resignation. But 90 days of saying to yourself, I'm going to not hold back, and I'm going to give it all I have. And with passion and heart and groundedness, I am going to go after this business. And I promise you, come August, come September, you're going to be in a totally different place in your life with a totally different business. And it doesn't matter if you signed up 2 years ago and you draw a line in the sand today, or you signed up last week and you're starting your business now. There is never a better time to start than when you are ready to commit 100% and play full out. All right, so what does it take to be successful? There you go. Those are the things, right? So it is your personal development for sure, right? It is your mindset, developing your why and your goals and who you want to affect and how you want to affect them, and then going after the business with those 10 things every day with relentless intentionality. And in 90 days, you reevaluate and then you readjust and you tweak your goals, and then you continue on for the next period of your business growth. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being a part of today's Business Tip Tuesday. Just checking out the comments here to see if there are any questions. So yes, what Google are you saying to use, Kimberly or Kimber? It is Google Streak. Google Streak is actually a contact management system that allows you to keep track of your conversations, where who you're talking to, their email address, the note section can be where they are. Like, have you given them information? Have you given them a link to sign up? Have they signed up? Are they now added to the group that you are running? So all like that is how I track not only my customers, but also my coaches as well, and the people that are a part of my team. So hands down, best thing ever to learn and embrace and use. Okay. All right, guys, go have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye, everybody.